Hey guys, I'm John Grimsmo and this is Knifemaking Tuesday, week 41. So as you can see here, I'm already machining the second batch of knives. I'm doing blades right now. I still think it's so cool to watch the Tormach machine those bevels. Alright, so I'm off in the corner here where it's a little bit quieter. In 2 weeks, Eric and I are going to be in Las Vegas for the USN Knife Show. If you're going to be there, obviously please say hi if you see us. Say we know you from YouTube or whatever, you've seen our videos, whatever. We're looking forward to meeting a lot of cool people there. And we're going to try to bring some knives to bring just for the show. We're making them right now. We're going to see if we can make about 10 knives between now and the show 2 weeks away. It's a tall order. It took us 3 months to finish the first batch, but there was a lot of learning involved, so we're trying to figure out if we can actually pull off 10 knives in the next 2 weeks. It's a big order. And then once we get back from the show, we'll do a bigger batch, and we'll start catching up on email orders and the other orders we've been getting. But I want to make a few just for the show to sell it in person, you know. So earlier today, it's kind of loud. Earlier today, I went to the water jet place, dropped off a huge sheet of titanium to make handles for the Norseman. So that's going to take a good few days, almost a week to cut. So that's going to take a lot of time out of our schedule. So we're going to try to have as much as we can done by the time those handles get here, so that they are ready to drop right onto the machine and start cutting. But the machining is not the hardest part, it's the hand finishing that we do. Eric spends a lot of time finishing these knives using both the new 1x30 grinder we got and the Scotch-Brite wheel. We're a little bit fortunate that the last batch of knives we made extra of some things. So we have enough thumb studs and spacers to finish this batch of 10. The other day Eric shortened a whole bunch of pivot screws. When we buy them, they're quite a bit longer. So he took a bunch of video of that. Let's cut to that now. Quick note about these drills. They have these LEDs that light up. The drill has just one LED on the bottom, but when you're doing it, like if I'm lined up to this bolt right here, there's this huge shadow that I can't see the bolt. Whereas this one, it's got a ring of LEDs around the outside, and so it totally circulates the nut, or the driver thingy. I'm sleepy, I can't talk straight. You know, so I can see exactly what's going on. Now, obviously I know that there's more room to put 3 LEDs here, and there's kind of no room to do it here. I'm just saying, from a general perspective of lighting, ring lighting like that is way awesomer. Actually, I just ordered a really sweet rig that I'll mount on the Tormach spindle right here. That's got several LEDs that go around the outside. And hopefully that will add quite a bit more direct lighting to what I'm filming, and so that I can see what's going on. So that should be here hopefully on Monday. Can't wait.
So I just wanted to show you our new custom grind. It's pretty awesome.
Hard to tell with the light. So what happened?
Clamp got hit by the button cutter and then just slipped out and moved the blade, and all hell broke loose.
Yep. Although that does look interesting.
Yeah. And the next one's fine.
Yeah, and that one's fine too, because that one didn't slip. So yeah, this one. So here Eric is using a custom quality Norseman, a high quality fine product made in Canada.
Chicken's cooked too well.
To cut chicken that is cooked too well, it says.
Well, it falls apart. Which is a good thing.
The knife is supposed to overcompensate for that. It was designed in. The maker told me.
Right. I should just go against the grain. That would probably be the smarter choice.
You're not a chef, are you?
Nope.
Me neither.
I sold chef's knives. It just shows how good of a salesman I am.
Does it work well?
It does. If you go the right way. I keep on cutting into the metal though on the fork.
You're going to cut the fork in half.
I think so.
And how does the blade shape work for this purpose?
I like it. Especially getting the belly. And the tip.
Clara, what do you think? Does it taste good? Go for the chicken. Is it yummy? No. Was it cut properly at least? Good.
Daddy's gonna fix you a tortilla as soon as he's done.
Wow, that looks like it's working awesome.
Yeah, it works great. And the only point that's really getting dull is that, yeah, go there. Oops. Nice fat blade for picking stuff up. It's like a perfect barbecue knife. I have chicken in my mouth.
That looks awesome. It slices, it dices. Look at that tomato. I don't know why you would cut like that, but it's working.
You know, you want thin sliced salami.
This is pretty cool, guys. Check this out. One machine working. Two machine working. Hey guys, another quick cut test with the Norseman in my pocket. I just want to see how it cuts a croissant. Normally I'd use a Cutco knife with their serrated double D edge because it works super great on bread. But I just want to see how a Norseman does. I think the term "like butter" is fitting here. Beauty. That was great. So right now we're working on a whole bunch more blades. I'm going to make a quick jig for the disc sander so that we can get jiggy with it. Disc sander is basically used to get rid of the ugly pitting, because it's a pity, and make it super shiny like that one, because pretty stuff is nice. Although the pitting sort of has a nice rugged look, it's not what I'm shooting for. So the trick is figuring out how to hold the blade against the sander in a way that doesn't cut your fingers off.
Or get too hot and burn.
Or get too hot, because this thing gets really hot. I've heard some guys actually hold the blade up here by hand, which is terrifying. Holding it here is okay, but it's a 9-inch disc, which means only a 4.5-inch radius, and the blade is 5 inches long. So you can't get the whole thing in one pass. So you kind of have to come in from the side, but then you get nicks and stuff in it. So that's dumb. So what I'm going to do is take a big chunk of aluminum. This was suggested to me a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, on one of my videos by a YouTuber. Posted a comment, said take a chunk like this and mill out a pocket that's pretty much the same size as your blade so that the blade fits inside. He said think of like a French fitted case. So the blade will kind of sink inside, maybe halfway down, and then I've got little magnets here that are going to press into the bottom of the pocket so that the blade will get sucked in and will be held in perfectly. And I'll probably cut this in half so it's nice and short. Mill it on both sides so that the blade can go on either side. And then this will give you a nice big aluminum heat sink to hold on to. And it'll let you basically hold it up here. Maybe even put a riser block right here. So you can just sort of do that and it's done. So anyway, I'm going to mill that right now. Well, design it first. Alright, so I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can because CAD stuff tends to drag on. So anyway, here I have my aluminum chunk. It's 1 inch by 1.5 inch by 11 inches long, which is obviously way too long. I dropped in my blade into the assembly. I'm using Solidworks 2011, by the way. So basically the premise here is I'm going to mate the blade onto the aluminum thingy, about like so. Move it up like so. So now I have to make an outline of the knife to inlay into the aluminum thing. So to do that, I'm going to right click on the aluminum thing, do this sketch button. So now I can draw a sketch within the assembly. And the quickest way to trace the outline of this is to use the convert entity button up here. So now I click on whatever I want. I'm going to do this surface, this surface, this surface, this, and that surface. And even that surface, although that doesn't really matter. That's going to get me all my surfaces, and boom, there's an outline. Along with other stuff that I don't need, but that's okay. I can just go and delete that one, delete that. Okay, and then from here, I can extrude cut, select this sketch, go down, how far do we want to go down? The blade is 125, let's go down 80 thou. 0.08, and there's my cutout. Now this cutout is exactly the same size. 5 minutes already, wow. So the blade is probably not going to fit, and I don't have any tools that are as sharp and tight as that, so I'm going to have to round that corner, preferably on the bigger side. Right now I have two closed lines here, the blue one and the black ones. I need to get rid of these blue ones inside the circle so that it just follows the line of the blue. To do that, there's a bit of a trick. I have to make the blue one a construction geometry real quick, and then I can right click and do split entity on the black one, and it'll let me split it right there. And then it'll let me split this one right there as well. And now I can delete or make these ones construction geometry, like so, and then make this one regular geometry. And now the line, as it sees it, will go black, black around the blue, and then black. So now once I exit this sketch, I get my drawing with the loopies. So currently the blade is sunken down in there, and it's mated in place so that it's kind of stuck where it's supposed to be. I can give you a side view of it so you can see how much sticks out. I can make this disappear so you can see it's down about 2/3 of the way so that the flats will stick up nicely, but it's still got plenty of room to get sucked in there. Tip's got plenty of room, but it's held in by the front edge, that edge, basically all the flat edges. So I almost forgot, the other thing I need to figure out is where to put the magnets. I'm going to put one right here on the flipper lever and one up here at the tip. So, here, I've got my neodymium magnet. Let's figure out what size it is. The diameter is 0.313 inches. The width is 119, 120 pretty much. Oh! So now I have my outline and my two pockets for the magnets. So I'm going to bust you through real fast how to set up Solidcam. Up top here, Solidcam, new, milling. Okay. It's nice to have the cam program within the designing program as well. Set a coordinate system. I'm going to put this in the vise, so this face, pick origin, that, not that line, that corner. Need to make sure that blue goes up, green goes forward, that's Y, red is X, that's perfect. And then click OK. To start, I like 0.75. The stock, just for visual sake, let's do box. That, I like to add nothing, and that's all there is to it. Get my Tormach tool table set up. Yeah. Okay. First operation. Add operation. Let's do a pocket. So all I've got to do here to select my tool path is go loop. Click that edge, and it wants to go up, but let's go over to the side. And now it's selected that whole loop. And I have to make sure that it's traveling in the correct direction, which it is. And then you click OK. Now you got to choose your tool. Select, I want tool 15. Alright, so I've chosen my 1/4 inch streaker 2 flute. Check the tool data, make sure the feed rates are where I want them to be. That works awesome in aluminum. Select levels, upper level is that, lower level is that. Step down one step. I want to leave a little bit on the walls to finish on the wall, and I want to link with an arc. Seriously? That shouldn't happen. Unless I go a little bit smaller, maybe 45. No. Okay, that works. And now we can view the toolpath. Here's my lead in and lead out at the end. Yeah, that's not cool. It'll work, but that's not what I wanted. Oh, because I left this area too small. So while I was inside designing that, Eric figured out a quicker way to do it. What is it?
It's 2 big ring magnets.
Out of a microwave.
Out of a microwave, and then a steel block, and then a bigger ring magnet on the back. And it just holds everything. And I tried it once before, but without like paper towels and stuff on it, and the blade would just slip off. So this time I had it all wrapped and waterproof, so it just sticks.
And you took the plate off.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I just took it off to replace the sandpaper and never put it back on again. But the only trick is to get it on there flat. And I guess I could start like what Brad said. I've never tried this. It scares me.
No?
Nope, that was worse.
Okay. So anyway.
That was good.
It's fast, right?
It's kind of. I've been trying different speeds. I don't know what works better, but... Yeah, basically just hold it here until all the pits are done. And this might be a lot easier to do before the blades are hard, but...
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Alright, let's look. We're getting there.
Yeah. So they're not all flat, but they will be. And they're turning out even better than the first batch, just because they're getting extremely flat before I finish them.
Yeah. Nice. And then Eric kind of hand rubs everyone with up to 1500 grit on this granite plate, several pieces of sandpaper, heavy weights, and he just goes with the magnets.
Blade, I just took off the little burr there on our belt sander, or grinder, and I just started buffing it on the Scotch-Brite and realized that the front bevel is kind of sharp. Kind of really sharp for just roughing it out. It's awesome. I love grinders.
Here's a bit of an interesting issue. Whoops. Here's a knife I've been hanging on to for a little while. Just finishing it up so I can ship it out. Made it toxic green. I don't know if that shows up too well in this fluorescent light. As you can see, it's dark outside. But yeah, the color turned out awesome. However, in playing around with it and tweaking it up, trying to get it to fit nice, I found a troubling issue. So hard to get it to focus. Anyway, the detent ball has quite a few cracks in it. It's like broken into 4 chunks. I'm not exactly sure why it did that. So, I mean, it looks like it got squished, which it did when I pressed it in. But it's a hardened ball. It should be able to put up with it. The only variable that's sort of different about this one is that the handle and the detent ball got etched in multi-etch for about 2.5 minutes. And multi-etch doesn't really like certain metals. I mean, it'll etch titanium, which is extremely acid resistant. So, as a general rule, I'm going to start not etching steel. So that ball's going to have to come out. A new one's going to have to go in. I might have to upgrade to a bigger sized ball. However, perfect timing. I got new detent balls in the mail. So far I've been using their 52-100 steel, hardened steel balls from vxbbearings.com or vxb.com. But I found this guy on eBay, bearingballstore.com, or on eBay I forget, but he's one of the most popular, prevalent guys on eBay. This is obviously a misspelling, Bearing. But anyway, he sells 440C stainless balls, which is pretty cool, and they're almost as hard as the regular steel balls, so I think they'll be acceptable and they won't rust. And he also sells ceramic detent balls. Now these I'm looking forward to trying out. Notice how they're black. There's two kinds of ceramic. There's this silicon nitride, and then there's zirconium? No, zinc. I don't know, it starts with a Z. They're white, basically. So I was doing some research, and I think I found that the black ones have slightly better properties as far as, I don't know, hardness and lubricity and all that stuff. So, can you believe there's 50 in here? I still find that hard to believe. It looks like nothing. But yeah. I forget the exact numbers, but if I'm not mistaken, 50 of these costs more than 1,000 of these. Just to give you a cost comparison. But they should be worth it, and each knife only needs one, so it's not a big deal. So for that smashed one, I might just try to put one of these in. Alright, I wasn't going to show this, but it was so awesome, I just had to show it. So remember on the green one, the fractured detent ball, of course you remember, you just saw it. To me it was like 2 hours ago. But, so I punched it out. I put a ceramic detent ball in, not in the same hole location. You see the hole right there? Not in there, but a little bit over. I put it in a different location, but still on the exact same arc. And after a little bit of tweaking, I have come to the conclusion that ceramic detent balls are absolutely epic. The stuff dreams are made of. It is really smooth. Now, quick rundown of how this works if you don't know what it is. This frame lock is spring loaded, so it's got spring tension rubbing up against the blade. That detent ball is scratching up against the blade, and so that the bar moves over, right? But so it's got a spring pressure resisting against the blade, so that detent ball is, you know, scratching against. That's your resistance. But this blade is so smooth that it just effortlessly falls. Huh. Not a lot of knives do that. The knife I've been carrying, that one, this is nicely broken in with a steel detent ball, and it doesn't fall. Now I've put together a few knives with steel balls that do fall like that, and it's just when all the tolerances line up perfectly, sometimes it does do that. But this knife I consider to be very nice, very fast, very awesome, but it just doesn't have that effortless glide that the ceramic ball does. Wow. And this is going to break in a little bit better over time. So, Mr. whoever's getting number 16, yeah, you're going to be happy, man. So I think Grimsmo knives will now be using ceramic detent balls from now on, because they're awesome. And no, before you ask, if you already own a Norseman, I will not retrofit it with the ceramic detent ball. This one was kind of a pain in the butt to do. So from now on, they'll be ceramic. Okay, so I finally got the detent all set on that knife, and just gave it to Eric to try out. Is that not like the smoothest knife you've ever felt?
It's just butter. Look at that. It will not stall.
It is by far the smoothest knife and fastest flipping knife I've ever felt.
Jesus.
The first time I flipped it, I was like, what? And then Eric thought I broke it, so I gave it to him.
Did you feel Peter Vicenti's flippers?
Yes?
They thwacked really fast.
They did. They had a similar effortless thwack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
If he uses the same ceramic ball.
I don't think so.
Huh. But his had a lot more weight to him. So
Yeah, exactly.
This is just...
It's not loose, is it? What was that chattering?
It was the...
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So guys, that's going to have to cut it for week 41. I want to thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next week. In the coming weeks, hopefully, we will be designing a new knife on Knifemaking Tuesdays. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun.